Again, so I'm over here at Kulno, and it's essentially a sort of a derelict little village. It's got a couple of towers in it, yes, but it's just essentially this, some derelict buildings dotted around. I think there's some further derelict buildings out there somewhere over there, down there in the trees. But it's yeah, so it's not our base as such. There's no military buildings as such. There's just these watchtowers. So that's that. So I'm gonna head up to Konopki, which I think may not be derelict. I'm not sure. We didn't get to it because we got gunned down in Geralto, as you recall. So I'm gonna head up the road to Konopki first, and then we'll come back to Patoki, I think, or other way around, because Patoki then Konopki. Oh man, make up your mind. Yeah, let's do Patoki first, and then what I'll do is head back up to Konopki and back up through Geralto, and go back that way. Shall we? Let's do that, because then we've gone that's as far south as we're going. Right, here we are down at the little camp at, what do we call it? Patoki. Obviously we got a Z out there. Alright, well that's what is it, Patoki? Which is good, not a bad little campground. I might just top up my water supply, seeing as I'm here. I've got 2 canteens now, and we'll head up to Konopki. Hey, we're in Konopki. Hey, it's raining. There's a big surprise. I found a strange base over here. Let's go have a little nosy, shall we? the gate there, I can't seem to access the lock. I don't know how they do it. I can't. It's a new one on me. I don't see how you access that lock. So, yeah. And there's no way into that room up there from above. So, I don't know. I don't know if someone built that, didn't realize what they were doing, put a lock on it, and then went, oh, I've locked myself out. Or what the situation is, but I can't figure out how to get in. Anyway. Such it is. Carry on. Let's have a look at Kanopki, shall we? Oh well, that is Kanopki. So there you go. That is Kanopki. Let's sit in the bush. Where are we going after Kanopki? One wonders. We did. It's Kulno, not Quino. Kulno. We did Patoki. We're not doing Dolnik again. We could follow the red route up through Jeltro again. We've done Rush and Ruminiak in the castle at Patoki, and then come across Karen, Lembork, the other side of Radunan, Lupina, Muratyn. Sound like a plan? So we just need to find the other bit of the red, which is just on the other side of this piece of grass that I'm on. And let me just see, because how much food have I got? They're making a lot of noise out there. I'm just wondering how much space I've got. And would it be worthwhile going and killing something now or hanging on? Might be worth hanging on for a bit. Right, here we are, outskirts of Geralto. I'm not. Geralto is quite sizable. It's not that bad in terms of, you know, like being a reasonable sized town. But I'm not desperately keen on searching every single house. We're going to take a stroll through it on the way through and keep an eye out for likely suspects in terms of bases. I haven't got not a single sharpening stone, so I don't know what that's about. And as we said, we're looking for predominantly saws now because we know where that timber pile is. So, predominantly looking for saws and other base building bits and pieces. But we are not we're not here to loot every single house, and obviously looking for bases, and if there are any bases, seeing what condition they are in. And you know, you never know. You might get lucky. You might find one that's already been busted open, but it's still got some loot inside. Probably not likely to be good loot, unless, you know, someone blew themselves up opening it. I mean, I don't know who would do that. Can't imagine. Yeah, that's a workable vehicle, that is. She's good to go. All she needs is a battery. Blimey, if we find a battery out here, there's gasoline around the corner. What's in the boot? Put my gas in the boot and put that other gas in the boot. And there's a fairly strong chance that if we find a battery while we're running around in Gibraltar, where's this gasoline? We could be nicking off with that. We could be nicking off with that. So keep your eye out for a battery. Aha! A car battery. And a saw. Right. What are we looking for food? Have we got any food? I think I've used up all my food. Arg. Right. Let's go have a look. It could be wrecked. If the radiator's wrecked, it's a problem. Come here, battery. There you go. Right. Quick bite to eat. Because they're a bit noisy, these things, once they get started. Right, gasoline. The gas is... There it is. Refuel. Excellent, Smithers, excellent. Right, let's hop in. The engine's, it's not bad. Can't remember what gear change is now. Oh no, the radiator's wrecked. The car radiator, no, the car radiator seems fine. It's just, is it not got any water in it? Is that the problem? I have some spare water. Let's see. In fact, I know how to get spare water. What you do is you do this. You get that gasoline that we had, which is now empty, and we put it in our backpack. We carry it, and we go and find the water, and we fill it up, and we bring it back here, and we load up the radiator, and we see if that helps. Because the engine was white, so that's good condition for an engine. The radiator is showing green, which is good condition for a radiator. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to just sort it out with some water. Fill the radiator. Yeah, I think the radiator's just empty. Yeah man, radiator was way empty. Right. Right, some of that and some of that. Let's get in. Now then. Why is it doing that? Now then, can't remember how to change gears. Let me just please check this. Probably should have checked this a long time ago. Vehicles is gear up is circle. Excellent. Ah, here we go. We're cruising down the freeway. Right, so we're gonna take this right. to take that left. Well now, there you go. Got ourselves a little wagon. For how long, who can say? Yolanda Mark II. Yeah, okay. My advice is take the battery, keep it. The spark plug is on this model. The spark plug is there. I think you can see it right there. Take that one. I'm not full. So you take the spark plug out, take the battery out, leave the radiator in, because you never know. The problem with this is there's a spare wheel in the trunk, which is a bit of an annoyance. I did say before one time, it would be great if you could lock this with this, you know, with a lock pick, and you could, but you can't. So normally what I'd say is take at least one wheel off. We got a spare wheel kicking around. So let's check our inventory, because these wheels are not light. Wait to see how big a wheel is. It's like 36 or something. Yeah, 36. So 36. I'm prepared to lose a spare wheel, so we can go and drop it over here and hide it, and it'll despawn. Goodbye, wheel. Don't need you. And we don't have room for 36, do we? I mean, I can move that up there. That frees 3. There's 2. There's 1. We can probably drop the flag in the boot, because who's gonna care about a flag, really? That's fine, do that. Get rid of the flag, that'll free up some space. Probably nowhere near enough still. 42, 13 of 24. That's just another 9, really. There's 9. That leaves us with 20. I'd have to lose 20. Two, 2. What's 36 from 63? 27. What am I carrying that for? 27. That's 37. So if I got rid of that saw in there, get rid of the worst one, actually. So drop the saw in there. Close that. Put the good saw up. Where did I have the good saw? What happened there? Did I pick it up again? How did I remove a saw for 10? And oh yeah, because that's 35. Oh my word. Thought it said 25. Saw up there. I reckon what I can do is I can take that off. Put it in my backpack. Take that off and hold it. So now it's out here in the woods, minus 2 wheels, and a battery, and a spark plug. Good luck trying to steal it. I'm gonna come back, because I'm not gonna be able to come back for like at least another 12 hours longer. 16 hours or so, and I'm going to come back. It's going to be gone. You wait. Still, easy come, easy go, easy come, easy go. You know, if we get away with it, awesome. What a hoot. If we don't, well, you know, there you go. So that's it. So, yeah. Well, I have to log off now. We've stashed our car in the woods. Getting it out of here should be fun without wrecking it. It's in pretty good condition, all told. Um, so that's quite amazing. Yeah, let's see how long we can hang on to this. These definitely, having one of these things really eats up the miles. I tell you, you can zip about the map a lot quicker in a car, um, but they are noisy. They are super noisy. So you just have to be aware that they do draw quite a bit of attention from people when you're driving around, and then you need to find a place to stash them and how to stash them. And you know, depending on how long we have it for, you know, you then use tools like screwdrivers and wrenches and things to lock wheels in place and lock radiators in place. If I've done it before, if I find someone has stashed a car and they've got a radiator that's not locked in place, then I just rip it out, you know, and throw it away. And then they come back and they don't have a radiator and they don't have water and they don't have a bunch of stuff. So it's easy to sabotage someone else's vehicle if you know what you're doing. And I've had a vehicle for quite a bit, so I know how to sabotage them. Um, and like I said, the best thing to do is wheels. Wheels are a pain in the butt to get. A battery and a spark plug, easy. Just they're not that heavy. Two wheels, that's 72. What are you going to do with that? That's going to take you a bit of, and you have to find them. They're not that easy to find. So yeah, so always consider taking the wheels off your vehicle, and also if you can, locking the remaining wheels on, because someone else come along and go, oh fine, well I'm taking the other wheel off and throwing it away, and you come back and there's no wheels, and you're like, ah. So, you know, there you go. We could come back and find that too. And if we do, well, you know, we had a little bit of fun, and that's DayZ. But let's hope not. It's a bit out of the way. I'm hoping no one will find it. And yeah, let's see, shall we? Be back soon. From your perspective, from my perspective, it's going to be quite some time. But let's see, shall we? Ta-ta for now. Well, Cure again. Look, it looks like Olga's still here. I've checked the boot. She's fine. I've put the wheels on. There's four wheels. The radiator's still here. I obviously haven't put in a battery and a spark plug yet, but it's all looking good. So yeah, so Quid's in. So well, what are we going to do? We're going to try and get back to Muratyn, that's what it's called. Blimey, name escaped me there. So try and get back to Muratyn and find a place to stash this thing. We're not in Aidbort, we're out by Geralto. So we came up one of these quiet little roads. So we would have to do quite a little bit of back road driving to get to where we were. And then we could try and find a place to stash it. We have to somehow get around Radunin without going through Radunin. And these things are not great off-road. I can tell you that. So, how, without going through Nadebor, how do we get to where we want to get to? Probably up these back roads to this main road to like Lembork, through Zapadlisko, Nidek, Lapina, Muratyn. I mean, frankly, it's a long journey, fraught with difficulty, is what I'll say. A long journey fraught with difficulty. But you know, there you go. So so we've got to give it a go. So yeah, I've got to sort out a few things, and like taking these wheels off again for a start. I might take a couple of different wheels because that one was a pain in the butt to sort out. So I'll take that one off. I'll take that one off, and I'll just sort out a couple of things, and And we'll be right back, and we'll get right into it. Eh? How does that sound? Sound like a plan, Stan? You betcha. Noisy bugger, I tell ya. This looks like a usable door. Slap that on. Come on, door. Go. Nothing else? No. What? Is it a usable hood? Goodness gracious. Can we attach it? There it is. Another usable door? Veritable treasure trove over here. Tell ya. There we go. She's nearly fully kitted and ready to go. Right, where am I going next? So we should be here, just outside south of Lemborg. So if we want to go up through Lemborg and out the top of Lemborg. So we can talk, which is, the graphics seem a bit sketchy. They weren't this sketchy the last time I drove a car. It seems you get that kind of like, it's coming in waves, it's not like a very smooth flow. Yeah, it didn't used to be like that. So I don't know what update caused that to happen. You're probably wondering, if you've never driven a car in DayZ before, why is he going so slow? Well, yeah, Gran Turismo this ain't, right? These cars don't handle very well, and the game has a habit of getting a little bit sketchy with crashing out and various bits and pieces. So you can quite easily desync with your car going down the road at 30 kilometers an hour, and your car doesn't stop, right? And you suddenly find yourself in serious problems. So you got to watch out for that kind of stuff, because then you'll suddenly find your car crashing. You've also got things like these roadblocks and stuff to contend with, which is always fun. You know, and other things going on. So it's by no means it's quicker. Don't get me wrong. The distance we've come would have taken ages by foot. But you've got to pace yourself. Don't go herring off with these things thinking that you can go super fast, because you absolutely can't. And I'm now leaving the town and going a bit further north than I wanted to. So that's not good. I've missed my turning somewhere. I was keeping an eye out for it. I do know there is another turning up here which takes us in the same direction. So yeah, so I wouldn't go much above 45. Really. It'll help you get where you're going quicker, but don't go crazy, because if you try and go crazy, weird stuff starts to happen. And as soon as weird stuff starts to happen, you're in trouble. So I don't know how far up here we need to go before we get to this turnoff. Not all of these side roads, especially the small roads, are easy to see. As you can imagine, they're not all well signposted. So sometimes you just gotta, yeah, sometimes you're gonna miss things. So it looks like we've missed it, but I don't want to go too far north. And it looks like we're already going quite a bit north. So I'm probably going to have to pull over and try and reassess where we're going to before we go much further. Yeah, so if you've been keeping up with the 1.23 experimental, one of the key things for that is actually pushing vehicles, pushing cars, well, and trucks and everything else, because if you do get hung up, it is an absolute nightmare to get unhung up. You can do things like you can take the bonnet off the car and drop it under the car, and the car will pop up, and you can make a campfire under the wheel and it will pop up and things like that. So there's tricks that you can do, because getting hung up is so easy. So one of the things in 1.23 is that they're bringing in this option of going to the front, pushing the car, or the back, you know, and pushing it off whatever obstacle it's stuck on, which is great, because there's nothing worse than, I mean, we got lucky. I've never been this lucky getting a car. The last time I got cars, I had to work for them real hard. There's nothing worse than spending like hours of game time getting a car sorted, and then you take it out for a drive, the server glitches, and you suddenly find yourself hung up on a wall. And that happened to me twice. With two different vehicles one time, in the same spot. So it's terribly off-putting when that kind of thing happens, and I've never bothered pursuing cars again because of it. And like I say, I've only picked this thing up because it was just sheer dumb luck, honestly. I just, it's like winning the lottery. So anyway, we'll carry on. And we'll see how far we go. I mean, obviously they are kind of noisy and people can hear them and all the rest of it, but they do have their uses. So yeah. Anyway, we'll get back to Muratyn, and we'll see what's happening, shall we? Oh, this is right. Yeah, lumber pile. Yeah, then I think I put an old saw in there, didn't I? It's the end of that one. I got 7 out of it. Oh, not exactly fantastic. Wow, these lumber piles really chew through handsaws. Badly damaged already. I mean, I suppose I did just get 27 planks in short order. So that'll have to do. It looks intact. Looks good. I didn't put my crates like that. Oh, someone's already broke in. So not so secure then, it seems, if you can already break into it. How did they get up here? How the heck did they get up here? The cheeky little squirrels. I did notice we had a Hummer there. This looks in very good condition again. I'm like, what is the story with these Hummers turning up? Look at that. It's fully kitted and ready to go, this Hummer. So I don't even need the car. I can just take this thing. Look at it. It is absolutely ready to go. Did someone bring it here? Because it wasn't here before. I'm sure it wasn't. How much does a tire weigh? 100. How do I secure this thing, I wonder? 100. I think if I put the tire in my base, it's going to despawn. Which is very interesting. Certainly I can take the battery. So someone's managed to climb up here. As I suspected, because I couldn't do it doesn't mean everybody else couldn't do it. So let me have a look through what still remains, and then we'll have a think about, obviously we need to move. I mean, this is not a bad refuge, I guess, now you could call it. I can't, unless I sort out this gate and this lock situation, that I can't access the lock from this side. And maybe I can. No, I can't. I cannot access the lock from this side. It's somewhere over there, isn't it? And that's the problem, is if I could access the lock from this side, then I could build a wall across here. and we're going to have a tiny little base. But as I've said before, there's possibly other places. So let me have a look at some things that are going on here and see what we're going to come back with. I'll be back. Go again, team. Well, you found me in a completely different building, which is quite badly run down, to be fair. And I've stashed my crates here. They're sort of out of the way. Once again, unless you're really making a big effort to go and find things, you're not going to find them because they're up in a building, and you've got to climb up here, and you've got to climb up that beam, and then you've got to wander across another beam and all the rest to find them, and you can't really see them. There's a tree kind of in the way, so you can't really see them from anywhere else. So yeah, so I'm hoping that once again, and this is temporary, by the way. So this is not permanent. This is a temporary stash. I moved everything, and I moved everything because I had to vacate my base because I did end up figuring out that there is a way to climb up around the back, and there's no way to actually build a fence to prevent that. So you can actually come up this thing. At the minute I can't because I've got this enormous great big thing, but if I were to drop that, I believe, if it would let me drop it, then if you crouch while you're climbing, I think, I did it before. Maybe if you have that in your hands and it's not sticking out the back. You can get up here anyway. Trust me, I did it once, which means it can be done. So the fact that I did it once means that it can be done, and that's how someone got in. So someone climbed in. So I've taken my code lock because I can do with that, and I've just left these walls as they are because we may come back and dismantle it and whatnot. The Hummer's still there. Hello, Hummer. I've obviously stashed my gear, and I've had a good look around, and you have to watch out because there's sneaky ways into some of these buildings like that. So I've had a good look around, and I've hit on the prospect of a couple of potential places where we could build something a little bit more meaty. And one of them is over here in this particular building. Although, can you get up that? I don't think you can climb that. That looks pretty steep. So if you go up these stairs, there's this room. Now, I know it's open to the sky, and that's not marvelous. But in terms of storage, I think you can put a gate in a couple of places, or two gates close together. I haven't actually tried that. Can we do that? So, what color does it have to be? It has to be that color. So I reckon we can put a gate there, which will be close enough to stop anyone from sneaking through it, and you can put a gate there, so you could put two gates back to back here, and that would mean that you could effectively seal this off. Climbing around on the outside, ooh, yeah, possible. It's possible. We need to think about that one. Because if people can climb up here and climb up there, they can climb into the room. That's the only thing. Of course, once they're in, they're stuck in there, because there's no easy way out. Can't jump out the windows. They'd have to have. I think you have to have a crowbar. I thought it was a hatchet would do it, but you can't dismantle somebody else's wall, I think, with a hatchet. I think you need a crowbar. So that's one possibility. and like I said, I'm prepared to build a couple of possibilities. And the other one is down here on the corner. In this building. Because I think that if you go up here, yeah, so I think it's this room. So I don't think you can climb up on the outside of this room. And you can't get up from this side, and you can't get up that side. So the only worry is here. So I reckon if you can somehow block this off, that might be the challenge. It might not let you build a gate here or a fence. So if you can't build a fence there, it's going to be a problem. You'd have to do it downstairs, which is a little bit more obvious. Can't quite build it there. No, because you don't want them climbing that wall, you see. You want to try and stop people from getting up to that wall. Because if they can climb that wall, they can climb around. So maybe you can't do it with this one from up here. Because you'd have to make a fence down here. Right, and that's going to be a problem. So yeah, so I guess the only place I found it is not that building over there, that building over there. The other possible alternative is none of these buildings in Muratyn, and we go and have a look at the next town over, which is what, Huta, I think. There's a couple of other little buildings that could be made into bases. They're a bit porous. You know, there's lots of windows, so you would have to shut up all the windows, and then it becomes a bit obvious that there's a base in there. Kind of detracts from what I've been hoping to get, which is I wanted to try and get to something that people would only find if they were actually, you know, seriously looking for it. I've had a look at every single building in Muratyn, and I can't find anything that fits that bill. Of course, you could make bases out of plenty of them. You would just need to make an awful lot of walls, and then it's kind of, you know, advertising the fact that you're there, you know. So that's a bit of a nuisance. So and again, as we said, it may not be a case of using a single place. So the other thing is the problem is they took my pliers, so I don't have any pliers, so I can't actually make a gate because I've got everything I need. I've got wood, I've got wire, I've got everything I could possibly need, but I don't have pliers. So I need to find some pliers. So there's some engineering buildings in the military up there, and there's a shed in the military over there, and there's some engineering buildings in the next town over. I haven't seen any pliers in any of these buildings. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to find a set of pliers, because I can't do anything without a halfway decent set of pliers. I've got everything else I need, but I can't do anything without a set of pliers. So that's what I need to do. So that's the next thing that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be looking for a pair of pliers, and then I'm going to be working on base Mark 2, because base Mark 1 over here in Muratyn was a bit of a bust. And you know, once again, you live and learn. So we've tried it out. We've found out that you can't build a base in that building that's going to be waterproof. So we're going to try building a base in another one. And if that doesn't work, we just keep trying, and we keep trying until we find something that works for us. We tried a base in the woods, that didn't work. We tried a base in that derelict building, That didn't work. We're going to try a base in a different kind of derelict building, a different kind of base. And if that doesn't work, we're going to do something else, and we're going to do something else, and we're going to do something else. So there you go. That's it. That's how it's going to continue. Yeah, but blimey. Well, that's all for now. I mean, what an epic journey. I mean, we found a Hummer, which technically speaking, I can go and get right now. Right now, all I need is I don't know if I've got the battery on me. I think it's in one of my crates, but I've got a battery. I've got a glow plug. Um, it's basically mine if I want it, and if it's still there, um, next day, then there you go. But we've got a car. I've buried the wheels. Although there is an Olga that spawns over here, a wreck. So, there's a possibility that might spawn with two good wheels and someone can drive it away. And so what? Again, this is DayZ. Don't get too attached to things. And what are you going to do with this car? Go to the beach? I mean, they're great, they're handy, they're everything, but you don't get attached to it. It's a case of getting yourself sorted, getting things together, getting all of those bits and pieces that are going to make your life easier together, and then focusing on your task. Our task is still, and I've only got 4 grenades, base raiding into port. Finding a base is an incidental that you get kind of sidetracked with sometimes. So yes, finding a base is important. Yes, building a base and storing some gear is important. It's not the be all and end all for me, but it is part of the season. So part of the season is to try and get something approaching a kind of a stable base of operations, and using that as a launching point to raid other bases. And that's the plan. So we're going to carry on with that plan with our car, or Humvee, or base, or not base, or crates, or not crates, or all the other stuff in between. Blimey, and I'll see you all soon. Don't forget to drop a like. Do subscribe. It does help the channel immensely. Feel free to leave any comments, thoughts, or commiserations, and I will see you all again real soon. Ta-ta for now. PlayStation